right, boys, welcome back. Here we are. William, this is a segment about the ongoing race to replace Boris Johnson as the head of the Conservative Party, also the prime ministership of the United Kingdom. I want you to know there's already some scandal. There's always scandal where Boris Johnson goes. The scandal is we've been referring to you on the podcast as KJ without your approval. I don't know if that's bad for your professional rap, but would you care to comment?
I am delighted to be on here with all my good friends from the Stars Family Gamblers, and I don't mind if we call KJ or William. KJ's good. I think that's a good vibe.
What is the threshold for being referred to as KJ? Because KJ is such an amazing internet name, and like you're a cool dude. Like you're cool, and like I see you slamming a Cronenberg in between takes here. Like this is a natural fit for both KJ and William to show up on this podcast.
Yeah, I'd like to think the two of us are both here. I'd say if you're a friend, you can call me KJ.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll debate, how high quality our friendship is at the end of this leadership race. So, boys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill you in as I understand it on what's going on. And then I'm just really going to pass the mic to William, and he is going to give you the nitty gritty. He has been hanging out at Westminster with his Star Sports whiteboard for going on a week now, as far as I can tell. So, all right, KJ, so can you fact check me? I'm just gonna go for a second here. All right, William. So as I understand it, we are done. Boris Johnson has resigned. He has survived a kind of stunt of a no confidence vote that didn't go anywhere. We are now 2 ballots into voting among Conservative Party members to choose who will replace him. And I'm sort of watching this as like the highest stakes sorority rush that I can remember. There are a few, every round, a few people get eliminated from the pledge class. Only one Queen Bee gets that pledge pin at the end. And from what I can understand, the finalists are Rishi Sunak, who's kind of like a hot Giga Chad investment banker, Liz Truss, who's like the kind of clean cut pantsuit, kind of Hillary Clinton type, situation, Penny Mordaunt, who to me reads as kind of like the elitist soccer mom who's going to be played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge when she wins an Oscar later in her career. Tom Tugendhat also in the game, who reminds me of a really good golfer who's way too cool to ever win high office. And Kemi Badenoch, who we said to bet on because her name is awesome, but I don't know anything about her. So what is going on? What did I get wrong? You just go. This is your show now.
Thank you very much. I mean, first of all, that was phenomenal. The only mistake I got to pull you up on, it's Tory party members of parliament.
Oh!
Them, up or down. But apart from that, the analogy was fantastic. You just have to swap members for MPs. So MPs will vote, and you're right and everything else. We are at the second, we've had the second ballot. On Monday, there'll be a third ballot, and then they just get whittled down to 2, and that is basically how we end up with the 2 candidates who face the membership.
Okay, and is there I don't even know if I'm asking the right questions here, but is there any, like, how long can they continuously hold more and more ballots in Parliament? Like at what point do people just throw in the towel and they say it's Rishi Sunak versus Penny Mordaunt?
It will go until next Thursday. Because you lose one every time or so. We're down to 5 and you need 2. So Thursday will be the logical conclusion of that. Just also something earlier you said, which made me laugh, with the Tom Tugendhat thing, because you nailed all of them. But with Tom Tugendhat, I don't know necessarily. He's a golfer, but I don't know if he's cool, right? He's the guy from the Workday ad, but he's not Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, so he's the guy who maybe takes golf too seriously, and people don't always like playing with him because he takes it too seriously.
I can get that. The sort of guy who's like really obsessive about the card and whatever, and he plays links golf.
Oh, very very traditional, very stern. Interesting. Okay, so you do you make the lines over at Star Sports, or is that someone else? Like, I don't know if it's a conflict of interest for you to tell me where the weak spots are in your lines, but it seems like you're favoring Penny Mordaunt, Liz Truss, and Rishi Sunak.
We are indeed. It's a team effort. So there's me, There's our head of trading, Dave Jolly. Then there's John Brackenridge, Kit Gilmore, Jordan Cox, and Eddie Dark. And we are sort of the team who will look at the various markets and we'll have our lines and we'll move them depending on events, depending on the money that we see, depending on our own opinion.
I see. So, is this the correct thing to infer, that this is Penny Mordaunt's race to lose now?
I think it is if she gets to the last two. The only thing is there could be a lot of mean girl stuff going on. Well, it's not there could be. We are in a mean girl situation. And the mean girls dream team is Kemi Badenoch and Liz Truss. And they are both, I would say, to the right of Penny Mordaunt as an MP, as a political player. And if you put their votes together, you can squeeze Mordaunt out of the final two, presuming she doesn't get enough support from elsewhere to go further in the race. And here's the complicated bit, because Tom Tugendhat, I think, is likely to be eliminated on Monday. I know we've got a TV debate to come and lots of media opportunities, but I think there's little space for him left to go. Where will his votes go? Will they go mostly to Rishi Sunak, who I don't think really needs them, or could they go to Penny Mordaunt? And then it all gets very tight. So if she makes the membership, I'd have her as favourite. The only thing is not certain to make the membership.
So why would Kemi Badenoch and Liz Truss gang up on Penny Mordaunt? I mean, is it just straight up mean girl stuff where it's like, if one woman's going to win, it's going to be me? Or I mean, is that it?
There is that self-interest there, but mostly because they are, I'm going to give them a title here, right? They are more Tea Partier, right, Tories, and Mordaunt is a bit more, I don't want to say Mitch McConnelly, but she's definitely more a bit from the traditional establishment of that party. Right. So they're basically to the right of her. They believe that Mordaunt is, amongst other things, and I honestly cannot believe I'm saying this, too woke and not strong enough on Brexit. And they don't want her getting to the membership because they think she'll win.
I mean, I did see that photo of Liz Truss wearing a burgundy pantsuit on an aircraft carrier deck, and it, like, pictures worth 1,000 words. So help us out here. So what are we looking for? Like, what, I don't think, myself included, I don't really even know what to look for to tell me what's going to happen. I mean, is it just counting ballots, after each vote and seeing, well, if this person dropped out, where would their votes go to? Or, I mean, is it that simple, or is there something else to be looking for here?
There's a lot of truth to that, but it's not that simple. MPs do vote individually. They don't just go in blocks. It's a lot like the floor of a convention, but not like a modern democratic convention, apart from like the Hillary Clinton superdelegate stuff. Imagine sort of a 50s or 60s convention, hot steaming summer nights and a lot of horse trading going around and people sort of rushing across the floor, trying to find out who's backing whom. And we're all playing that game as well at the same time. So a lot of horse trading going on. For example, Suella Braverman, who was eliminated today, said she's backing Liz Truss. Steve Baker is going on with Suella Braverman. Those names might mean nothing to you, but here's a candidate who got 27 votes, encouraging her supporters to back Liz Truss, who got 64 today. It's a boost for Liz Truss, and so on.
So are you, we had Paul Krishnamurthy on just a couple days ago, and his perspective is that it's inevitably Rishi Sunak versus someone else, and that someone else is probably Penny Mordaunt. Is that conventional wisdom, or is that like an especially hot take?
Conventional wisdom. The only thing is I now fear the big stitch up against Penny Mordaunt from the right.
Wait, what's that word mean?
Stitch up, the big stitch up. So basically, Kemi Badenoch, who had 49 votes today, and Liz Truss, who had 64 votes, they and their supporters, they team up and they decide, okay, let's tag team this and we can prevent Penny from making the final two. And the right of the party, and again, I can't bring home how ridiculous this is, but they've got concerns about Penny Mordaunt.
Interesting. So is she the only candidate that bettors should be suspicious of, like some kind of coup like that, where some of her rivals might explicitly attempt to deny her the premiership?
She's the only one that I think is going to be couped, because she's the only one in the position strong enough to be taken down from being couped. No, she's got 80 free supporters already, 83 votes today. I can imagine her taking more, but with Rishi Sunak on 101 and sure to get over into the last two, in my opinion, she probably needs to steal some votes from the rest of the party, and that could be a tall order.
So, and then in which case, if the Mean Girls ganged up on Penny Mordaunt, this is now a Rishi Sunak versus Liz Truss competition?
Yeah, that's how I imagine it would go, especially with Braverman and Baker backing Truss.
Got it. Well, so why don't you take us home here and just tell us how this is going to play out over the coming days and weeks. You said your parliament, like our Congress, does not work on Friday, so tune in Monday, I think I heard you say, for the third ballot. But what happens after that?
Monday for the third ballot, then there's one after that and another after that, and that will whittle it down to two candidates on the Thursday. We'll know this time next week who one of the two people who will be the next Prime Minister. What I think will happen is that Tugendhat will be eliminated. I then think Truss can edge out Badenoch, and I think Badenoch's supporters on the right are already aware of that possibility. It then just depends who sneaks through out of Penny Mordaunt or Kemi or Liz Truss. Then they go up against Rishi Sunak to the membership. Now, we can't take anything for granted here. It's a long campaign for the membership. Yes, they want it done relatively quickly, but it's July until like September when the actual result is known. That's enough time to win or lose a race. It really is, going head to head. I would fancy either woman to beat Rishi Sunak. I'd make them favourites, but it's no foregone conclusion.
All right, that is fascinating. Well, you are. I hear other experts chirp the same. It's you'll see Rishi Sunak's name on the ballot, but you're probably going to be seeing someone else's name at the end of the election. So I am too dumb to pry into why that might be. But for the time being, I think forewarned is forearmed for Star Spangled Gambler's listeners.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And, we always look forward to having you. So come back often, early and often. And yeah, I'll have a Cronenberg with you next time.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
Thank you, William.